UW and Foster, accounting, paid outside. I think everybody knows who Bill Ressler and James Gillick are. I mean, you guys invented UW back in 1861, right? I have right? James Gillick will start. Bill will be here.
Very soon.
And so, Professor Gillick will start. We'll have some guest speakers as well. So, let's welcome.
Hi, I'm very happy to be here. I wasn't sure I could make it. Over Christmas time, I was coming up to try to lift things out of the attic and move it down to the Christmas tree, and I threw my back out. And I'm still recovering from it. So I'm sometimes more comfortable standing, sometimes I'm more comfortable sitting. I may even lay down during this presentation. I had a chauffeur tonight to drive me. Luckily, they drove me almost right up to the building. It was my wife. But she didn't want to come in because she said she's not dressed for a crowd like this. And I said, no, you want to come in because at least one other person, Bill Ressler, is going to come in completely. So anyway, she's waiting for me outside of the car, so I'm not going to be able to stay at the end of the meeting. But please come and see me anytime you want to talk about the program. I'm in MPAcc 436. Come by any time, I'll be glad to talk about it. In the meantime, we have a lot of guests here who are graduates of the program who will be glad to speak to you. And I also have some of the recruiters that I'm going to give you some information about what they think about the program. So my goal tonight is to tell you a little bit about the program. See if I get this to work right. Okay, see if I can see it. Okay. That's way too high. Well, I can stand over here for a while. Okay. Now, this program was designed about 11 years ago. At that time, everybody was creating master's programs across the country, and all they were really doing was taking additional elective courses that they teach on an undergraduate level and calling it a master's program. So we decided that's not what we really want. We want to have a true master's program, and we want to cover topics that you wouldn't get in an undergraduate course. And we want to do it so that it would make you succeed in business. It wasn't just to give you additional education to qualify to sit for the exam. It was to really make you have a greater chance of getting ahead in the firm much quicker, getting a higher salary, getting quicker promotions, and to get you to succeed. So that was the purpose of it. It wasn't to prepare you for the CPA exam, and it still isn't. On the other hand, it does prepare you for the CPA exam, but that's not our primary purpose. That's our secondary purpose, that you get that. Almost everyone in our program has had little difficulty passing the CPA exam, so we must be doing something to contribute to that. Okay, so what's our mission? We'd like to be one of the top, if not the top program in the country. We are a little bit unusual. There's only one other program that allows you to take a winter internship and still get a master's degree, and that's the University of Texas. So our university are the only two that offer winter internships. And from what we could get from feedback from the public accounting firms, that's ideal, because they get to work on what we're teaching them in the first quarter, they get to put it to use in the winter, and then we're able to build on it when they come back in the spring. The other advantage of that is you get paid for doing that. So as part of the cost of going into the program, it's getting supplemented by the fact that you're getting paid and getting credits at the same time. So we think that kind of stands us out, and we're now getting more and more applications from outside the state of Washington. Last year we had over 200 applicants for this program. We limit the size of the program to about 50. So a lot of these applicants came from outside of Washington. So it means that our people who are graduated have migrated to other parts of the country as part of their business, and they've been recognized, in my opinion, for the quality of the work that they're doing and the benefit they got from being in this program. So we measure our success by the success of our graduates. We don't measure it by what score they got on a test. We go back and we have a committee. Let's see if that's my next slide. Well, let's see, how do we design the program? Since we want to do it and the emphasis is on success, we asked the CPA firms to help us design the program. We also asked corporations. Why do we ask corporations? Because we know a high percentage of you leave public accounting and go into private industry. So we want to prepare you when you leave to give you the type of training that would make it very desirable for your next career move. So we talked to Boeing, we talked to Amazon.com, Costco, Nordstrom's, a lot of the major corporations. And then we talked to all of the CPA firms, at least the top 8 or top 9. And we asked them to put a curriculum together for us. We said, what would you like us to teach? And that's the way we designed the program. We didn't take undergraduate programs and say now they're going to be a graduate program. We designed the course from the bottom up. Okay. So the emphasis on our program is to develop skills that help you succeed. Oh, I can look here? You notice how hard it is for me to look up? Okay, so we're concentrating on skills. What's the key skill? Strategic thinking. What does that mean, strategic thinking? It means not just memorizing what you're supposed to do, it means understanding why you're doing it. What's the purpose of it, and why can't it be done better? And why in the past haven't these things resulted in a good audit? How did people misapply these rules that you're supposed to follow? So we don't want you to just memorize stuff. We want you to understand the purpose of doing the procedure and what it's accomplishing as part of the overall audit. So we concentrate heavily on strategic thinking. You can't do an audit of a company actually unless you understand the business of that company and the industry they're in. So there's a lot of emphasis put on risk analysis. Typically, we're teaching you to think like the owner of the company. We're teaching you to think like you were managing the company. What are the risks associated with that company? They're affected by the economy. They're affected by industry. They're affected by what the competitors do. They're affected by the government. How does that risk affect you when you design the audit? So in effect, we're giving you a management course in running a company at the same time that we're teaching you to audit it. And that's the concept, because if you leave, you're going to be very valuable because you've been thinking like a business person right from the beginning. That's the concept of it. So we are worried about effective communication because the public accounting firms told us that the weakest element of the graduates of the University of Washington is communication, writing ability, and oral communications. They said those are the things you want to concentrate on. So we spend at least 3 courses dedicated to just improving your communication skills. Okay. And then we obviously are going to deal with ethics, leadership, and teamwork. Because when you go out in the business world, you're working as part of a team. You're not working on an individual basis. Okay, so what are the requirements? We treat our program like a master's program. Meaning we place the responsibility with you. We're not there to monitor you. We're not there to force you to do work. We're there to give you the responsibility of wanting to do the work. We give you the concept of doing a lot of preparation when you come into class. We want to teach our programs like they're seminars. We want to have contribution back and forth. We want to bounce ideas off each other. So it's not your typical undergraduate course. It's very much a true master's course when we teach it. We require attendance because as part of a team, if you're missing a class, you're letting down the rest of the team. Almost every course we teach, you are assigned to teams as part of that course. Well, you're contributing. You're supposed to contribute. I think some of our graduates were smiling. Maybe those are people who contribute as much as some of the others. I don't know. Okay. Cold calling. We cold call on people. We use the Socratic method. We question you. We want you to get up on your feet. We want you to make presentations to us. We want you to defend a position. We want you to argue with people. Because that's what you do in the business world. We want you to approach it like you were really already in public accounting and maybe you're already the manager. How would you deal with the client? How would you explain this to the client? How would you avoid or overcome resistance that the client is giving you? Okay? So, and then obviously we want you to be a team